All right, let's hear it for our wonderful band that just played for a long time. They were wonderful. Thank you. And on behalf of the DeForest Area School District, I extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you who have gathered to celebrate this momentous occasion. This is a day of great pride and accomplishment, not just for the graduates, but for the parents, families, friends, and staff as well. As the superintendent of our amazing district, I congratulate the class of 2024. I would also like to thank Amy Jamber and Blake Etheridge for planning this wonderful event. And now I will invite all of us to stand and face the flag and enjoy our wonderful DeForest Area High School choir singing of the national anthem.
Please be seated. Good evening. I am Jonathan Rouse, and I have the privilege of serving as principal of DeForest Area High School. I also have the honor of being a graduate of DeForest Area High School. I am so fortunate to have been given the opportunity to come back home and lead my alma mater. Looking around, I'm guessing there are many people sitting here today who are also proud to call themselves DAHS alumni. Out of curiosity, if you are a graduate of DeForest Area High School, let us know by raising a hand. That's quite a few. Class of 2024, you are clearly joining good company. It's been 26 years since I was sitting in the very same seats as all of you. In that time, I've learned a few things that I would like to share. The first thing is to define for yourself what happiness means. Don't fall into the trap of letting others tell you what happiness is. The second thing I've learned is that disappointment, heartache, and loss all are a part of life that you will experience more often than you wish. Learn from those difficult moments and use them to make yourself stronger and more capable. The path to success is never linear. You need to keep moving forward towards your dreams, firmly believing that the next step will bring opportunities you never knew existed. You will make mistakes, and you will take missteps in your life. Don't let those things define you as a person. Let those things teach you to do better, to be better. And most importantly, I have learned that life is best lived when you believe in the power of humanity. Small, selfless acts of kindness can change the world for the better. No matter how much success you encounter in your lives, never forget to be kind to others. Whether your life's journey takes you to the other side of the world or just the other side of the street, please remember that your journey began as a graduate of DeForest Area High School. I know I speak for everyone in this room when I tell you we are so very proud of each of you and for all of your accomplishments. We look forward to watching you do incredible things in the future. Thank you for letting me share this moment with you, and congratulations to all of you. And now I am pleased to introduce our first student speakers of the evening, Joss Hoffman and Rylan Oberg.
How did it all go by so fast? A question we have all been asking ourselves over the past few months. These past 4 years have dragged on, yet also flown by. Today is where we say goodbye to the chapter of our lives and celebrate the fact that we made it through these past 4 years. Throughout our childhood, we imagined what the first day of high school would look like. The promising years of high school are what got us through the low parts of our middle school years. Leaving 8th grade, we were all excited to finally have some freedom. To sit atop of the bleachers at football games, carry our phones with us throughout the school day, and chew gum without getting in trouble. The anticipation of the new experiences and the uncertainty of the next 4 years made us excited for summer to be over for the first time ever. But overnight, our classrooms transformed into virtual spaces. The expectations that we had built over the last 8 years were demolished. To say that our freshman year was unexpected would be an understatement. 4 years ago, no one would have even dreamed that we would be logging onto our computer screens for our very first day of freshman year, instead of walking through the front doors of this very building. Our dining room tables had turned into desks, and bedrooms became our classrooms. While our Wi-Fi connections remained stronger than ever before, we lost real connections. Connections with our classmates, teachers, and most importantly, we lost a whole year of a true high school experience. We lost our years of firsts, our first homecoming, our first high school football game, our first taste of independence that crumbled just as we were about to reach it.
Looking back now, freshman year feels like a blur. Although we lived through it, it truly is hard to believe that we all had to stay locked in our houses for an entire year. I think most would agree with me when I say that every day felt the same. Wake up, log onto our computers, complete the assignment, repeat. We struggled to find the motivation to get out of bed some days, and finding motivation to do schoolwork was even harder. While living on repeat for days on end, it felt like our lives were due at 11:59 p.m., not just our school assignments. So no, our freshman year was not quite as movie-esque as we were all hoping it would be. In our minds, we pictured ourselves getting lost in the school while trying to find our classes and eating lunch in a cafeteria bigger than we've ever seen before. While our reality was actually a year full of blue masks, hand sanitizer, elbow bumps, and accidentally leaving our mics on during class, instead of the fun and freedom we expected it to be, that year helped us to become the people that we are today. Despite an unusual beginning to high school, we had another 3 years. We built new friendships and made new memories. We grew in ways that we never expected, learning lessons beyond the curriculum. Lessons of adaptability as we navigated Google Meets and online math tests. Lessons of perseverance and hoping that normality would return in the spring. That was the only thing that kept us going. We learned the power of support, knowing that it was crazy to be living through a pandemic, but comforting to know that we were doing it together. We carry these lessons with us into sophomore year, or what some may call our true freshman year, where we finally got to experience those firsts. Now we would like to hand the mic over to our classmates and our dear friends, Olivia Tittle and Grace Kuiper.
Thank you, Joss and Rylan. Walking into school on September 1st, a sophomore year, felt like our first real day of high school. With a freshman year on Zoom, we had the social skills of an 8th grader and new responsibilities of being a sophomore. From the beginning of the school year, we had a lot of catching up to do.
It was our first time in a high school setting. We were excited to finally have the ideal high school experience with various new activities we could now participate in. But we had COVID guidelines while in school. The start of the year, we were all required to wear masks, and we had to personally wipe down our desks as each bell rang before we went on to our next hour.
Instead of having limited contact with our classmates and being socially distanced, we were able to make new in-person friendships. It was very different going from the middle school pods into a high school of 1,000 people, with all new teachers and way more freedom. We could carry our phones with us and have classes with people from other grades. But if we felt sick or had contact with COVID, we had to go into quarantine.
We also had our first real football season in the student section without limited ticketing. Instead of spending our Friday nights at home on a FaceTime call or texting our friends, we were chanting for the class of 2024 in the student section, finally feeling like we were in the high school movie we all dreamt of as the ideal high school experience.
We were also able to participate in sports again during the correct seasons. We finally didn't have to have all our sports pushed back into the spring. But most of the players still had to wear masks while playing. Some sports teams even had games canceled because a significant amount of people on their team or the opposing team got COVID.
Our first homecoming was not what we expected coming from middle school. It was definitely a culture shock. We spent it outside, making sure we were socially distanced most of the time. But we didn't care because we were just happy to be there.
We obviously had to adapt significantly over the course of the year with the ever-changing guidelines and classroom expectations. But it was our durability as a class that allowed the constant change of the world around us not to become overwhelming, even though our sophomore year was so accelerated.
It seems like everything has gone by way faster than we expected. Missing a whole year of high school made sophomore year feel like it was over so much faster. Sure, having homecoming outside and still having to worry about getting COVID and being quarantined again was less than ideal, but our sophomore year we learned to adapt. We went from a life of masks and our only social interaction being behind screens to a high school of 1,000 new people and hallways that seemed impossible to navigate at first. Being brought together as a class after being apart for so long gave us a sense of being connected, which we thought that we might never experience again when the 2 weeks off for COVID ended up lasting a year and a half. We were able to experience every single first together as a class. Instead of being connected over a FaceTime call, we went to football games, homecoming, had normal sports seasons, and participated in clubs, all face-to-face.
Class of 2024, we had many challenges and new beginnings our sophomore year of high school. Despite the fact that we still had our masks on for most of the year, we've never felt more connected as a class because we were so excited to finally have each other's company again. We also learned how to adapt and be durable even when the world around us was unstable. If in a year, 5 years, or 10 years you find yourself in a situation where it seems like you can't keep up with the changes around you, think back to your sophomore year and the courage you had to constantly adapt.
Now we would like to introduce you to our junior year speakers, Eleanor Trinan and Cassidy Kern.
Thank you, Grace and Olivia. Class of 2024, this is it, our graduation day. The day where we thank all of those who have helped us get to this point. Today, we cry over our separation and cheer for a new beginning. We have reached the end of a chapter. Today, we leave behind those who have helped shape our last 4 years and let go of teachers and educators who pushed us to be the best humans we could be. And the teachers who believed in us when no one else did. Some of us are ready for our next adventure, and some of us aren't. And that's okay. It's okay to not feel ready for what comes next.
When we entered our junior year, there was a feeling of unease, of anxiety. I had heard all of my life that junior year was the most challenging year in your academic career. But it also came with newfound privilege. Junior year was one of our first real hints of freedom. Most, if not all of us could drive, so texting your mom at 11 p.m. on a Saturday night to pick you up from the movie theater wasn't as big a deal anymore. In all the classes we took, they finally paid off because we were now upperclassmen. Soon, we were filling out college applications. We were tasked at just 16 and 17 years old to decide not only what we wanted to do with the rest of our lives, but where to spend it. It was a big responsibility that I know I wasn't ready for. I still have to hold my dad's hand when I get my flu shot. So how on earth could we be held responsible for the potential prosperity of our futures?
Junior year held many obstacles, but beyond those were times of tremendous growth and self-discovery. We delved deeper into our studies, eager to boost our GPAs and impress colleges and future paths. We explored new interests and activities and forged meaningful connections with fellow peers and mentors. Whether it was excelling in academics or pursuing passions outside of the classroom, each of us made a stride in our personal and academic growth.
As the year progressed, we went through the usual ups and downs. A multitude of missing assignments, tests we most definitely could have studied harder for, and Saturday nights in random parking lots with your friends talking for what seemed like hours upon hours.
As we sit here today, adorned in our caps and gowns, my heart overflows with gratitude and love. This journey to our high school graduation has been an incredible one, and is a path that we all walk together. We are graduating at a time unlike any other. The world we are stepping into is rapidly changing, unpredictable, and challenging.
In such a world, resilience, the ability to recover from setbacks, adapt to change, and keep going in the face of adversity is not only valuable, it's essential. The challenges we face will not define us. It's how we respond to them that will. So, to the class of 2024, the future is ours to shape. Embrace it with hope, and the world will stand in awe of what we all achieve. Thank you. I would now like to take the time to introduce some very good friends of ours, Gabby Pertzborn and Sam Mell.
Thank you, Cassidy and Eleanor. It is my pleasure to be here today, a part of the celebration of the class of 2024. Before I begin, speaking first is my classmate, dear friend, and the hardest worker I know, Sam Mell.
Thank you, Gabby. At the start of this year, everyone was so excited to get our final year of high school started. We looked forward to being the oldest in the grade because we never got to finish out our 8th grade year as just that. We started the year with Senior Sunrise, where many of our students met at the high school early in the morning to watch the first sunrise of our final year. During this, we did get a visit by the DeForest Police Department to make sure we weren't causing any trouble, but luckily we had already finished doing just that. I'm totally kidding. We were really just having a good time to start off our year. Throughout this year, we had many of our lasts. Some of these include our last homecoming, where our class became the first in DeForest history to win all 6 competitions between the grades. Our last, give a clap to that. Our last sports games and tournaments included seniors who either individually or as a team went to state for boys soccer, girls swim, cross country, dance, and cheer. Our grades supported each other by having good turnouts to many sporting events, including when Minnick came back to head coach against Sun Prairie for football, and even showing up to pack the pool for our girls swim team. And of course, after all these events, we had some of our most memorable times at the one and only Culver's. We also had our last banquets and conventions for different clubs, including FFA, DECA, HOSA, and so many more. At these events, we had to say goodbye to many people who changed our lives for the better. For me, that person was Miss Ryan, / Meffert, if you want to go that direction. She has guided me throughout my high school career, and that is something that I'm so grateful for. These clubs had many successes throughout the year, including the FFA's Defo Fights Hunger, where we packaged 51,264 meals for the food insecure in and around Dane County, or DECA's Trick or Can that brought in 3,500 cans that got delivered and donated to the Windsor Food Pantry. Give a round of applause for that. As all of our lasts have come to an end, I am so glad to realize how close this grade has come in the last year. I know each and every one of you can accomplish any of your goals, whether you take your next step in the military, trades, or going to college. I wish every one of you luck on your next endeavor, unless, of course, you are going to college in Minnesota. Roll badge. I'm just kidding. Of course, I know you guys will make it out okay. I am so glad to have been a part of this DeForest community and wouldn't want it any other way. Now I want to pass the mic back to Gabby Pertzborn, who is one of the most encouraging people I know and have ever had the pleasure of calling my friend, who also happens to be going to Minnesota to be a future Gopher.
As Sam said, a common theme for us over the last school year has been the last of everything. Our last homecoming, our last prom, our last games, and our next steps before our next phase, whatever that may be. While we felt a wide variety of emotions over our past days as students in DeForest, I think we could all agree there was certainly a feeling of uneasiness before we face our next step, whatever that may be. What I think is so beautiful about experiencing the last of everything is the beginning of something new and possibly even better forming. The beginning to something incredible could be formed from anything. It could have been a meeting you randomly stumbled into, a randomly assigned partner, or maybe a defaulted flex period. For me, the best parts of my time in high school were the events that I never expected or dreamed of happening. High school is all about finding your passions and interests, who and what you click with. We become so caught up in the moment of searching for these things to click with, we don't even realize our future's forming in the meantime. Every experience, every person, every realization, every emotion, good or bad, weaves together to create our next steps. Through our failures, we gain strength, we gain courage, and we gain the ability to step onto new ground. While our destination is still unclear, it is not defined by our failures or successes, let alone our high school years, but more by our desire to work for what we truly want. We may inadvertently form our beginnings, but what we ultimately do with that beginning is in our hands. My one wish for you, my classmates, is that we can use our time at DeForest High School as a stepping stone to greater things, that we can grow forward from our experience together and do something incredible with our newfound growth and knowledge. We have the power to make changes we never thought possible, and we can't risk missing our own potential. Thank you for your time, and thank you to the teachers, students, and coaches that made my time at DHS so memorable. Unfortunately, this past year, we lost a beloved classmate, Aviana Skolaski. Speaking in her honor is her longtime friend and classmate, Ariana Meza.
As we are here to celebrate our graduation and cross the stage into our next chapter of life, I want us to honor the ones who are unable to be with us today. To remember a friend, a sister, and a daughter, Aviana Skolaski. Avi was very outgoing, not afraid of anyone, and most importantly, immensely loyal. You always knew she would have your back in a difficult situation, and she could befriend anyone just by walking up to them and talking with them, which is not something that many can do. Growing up, Avi and I had an unusual relationship, but a close one that we built from the days we spent walking to and from the bus stop together, the hours we spent outside adventuring, and just in general the last 12 years. Even if we didn't always see eye to eye, we cared for one another. Avi always showed her loyalty by sticking with me throughout my whole childhood. I can't remember a year where I didn't spend at least every other day talking to Avi, and I'm grateful for that. Not only did Avi impact my life, but the lives of countless others throughout her 4 years at DeForest High School. She was always yelling your name down the hallway or trying to auction off bubblers that she bought at the corner store, but she was always there. She was the most ambitious person I knew, and it truly showed when she frequently talked in front of the members of FBLA. Avi also left a lasting impact on freshmen when she took on the role of being a Norski mentor, helping them through the transition from middle to high school. Before she passed, she told our advisory how she was working on her grades to get her CNA and how this year was going to be different. You could tell how passionate she was about finding something that interested her and what she was going to do to achieve it. Avi had a great sense of humor and a laugh that would fill up the room and a gorgeous new smile that I'm glad she got to showcase. I remember the first time she started into advisory, confidently showing off her new smile. Despite the obstacles she endured growing up, Avi had a big heart. She was a strong-willed and determined woman. Her growth throughout the last 4 years of high school has been incredible. Moving forward, I want us to celebrate the woman she became and the hearts and minds she has touched. Life has a way of throwing curveballs, challenges, and obstacles at us. As we enter society as adults, it will continue. Avi was one tough cookie. She persevered through all that life threw at her, and her resilience really did shine through in everything she did. This is her legacy. As we stand on the brink of new beginnings, let us carry Avi's memory in our hearts as we step into the world, striving to live lives that reflect kindness, courage, and compassion, all qualities that she embodied. May we always remember that while Avi is no longer with us, her impact on our lives will never fade. We have a chair to my left to honor Avi today. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor her memory. Thank you.
Clearly, we have very many talented students here today. Now, having met the requirements established by the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction and the Board of Education, it is my honor to present the class of 2024 to our superintendent, Dr. Rebecca Tates, and to the Board of Education of the DeForest Area School District for graduation. I would now like to introduce Gail Lovick, President of the Board of Education.
Good evening. I proudly serve as the president of the school board for DeForest Area School District. Joining me tonight are other board members as well. If you could please stand, we have Gussie Lewis, Jeff Hahn, Stephanie Saar, Brian Coker, and Sue Esser with us tonight. It never gets old when I say that I'm a DeForest Area High School alumni. But unlike Mr. Rouse, even though I know I'm younger than him, I won't say what year I graduated. I'm also the proud parent of Blake, DeForest Area High School class of 2026, Carter, class of 2028, and Grace, class of 2030. I say this because we are not only board members, but community members and parents. We have shared in the joy of watching all of you participate in numerous clubs, plays, concerts, as well as cheering you on as you represented the Norski Nation in a variety of sporting events. As members of the Board of Education, it has been our duty and privilege to set the policies that support the district in providing you with the tools and skills necessary to prepare you for whatever the future holds. Now comes one of the greatest honors as board members, community members, and parents. We have the honor of witnessing you walk across the stage and transform from a high school student to a DeForest alumni. Mr. Rouse, it is with great pride and pleasure that on behalf of the DeForest Area School Board of Education, we accept the presentation of the class of 2024 for graduation. We now ask our graduates to proceed to the stage to be individually recognized and receive their diplomas. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Annika Arlene Beowulf. Samuel David Mell. Oh. Vaughn Christopher Knighton. Jelena Parajikovic. Gabriel Reyes. Jade Maria Sakshin. Rihanna Lorraine Schmidt. Audra Schultz. Shandi Shaw. Thomas John Taylor. Olivia Charlotte Tittle. Kari Vandenhoevel. Eliza Voles. Akoya Elise Wellington. Alton. Jacob Michael Wilson. Dominic Wood. Gavin Zook. Brandon Ames. Andy Amidi. Brenton Arndorfer. Adriana Burmester. Caden Connors. Brianna Esnes. Omar Alexander Falcon Carranza. Benjamin Gostad. Macy May Gladom. Catalina Lene Gray. Bryce Harmon. Carver Heimbecker. Brody Kulo. Oh, my eye. Caitlin Marie O'Mara. Meredith Ray Burden. Jocelyn Sage Allen. Maya Stephanie Elias. Jaden Gerber. Skylar Marisek. Tyler Sheree Nidich. Kyla Anna Nielsen. Kiara Bonnet. Maite Baptista. Amelia Hackman. Riley Rose Jacobson. Aiden Kern. Hunter King. Noah Stephen Krieger. Stephen Douglas Lefebvre. Andrew Peter Lefebvre. Vanessa Lindy. Alex Markgraf. Heidi Moldenhauer. Braden Moore. Gabriella Janine Pertzborn. Noah Garfoot. Caleb Hookham. Mara Yedis. Jada J. Kelleher. Oren Paul Kettlebader. Trevor Krieger Simic. Karina Nonavi Kuzdis. Kaylee Marianne Lara. Aster Lee. Easton Abigail Longpowell. Zachary Suman McClure. Isaac Murky. Angel Plata. Nolan Powers. Linnea Roed. Aiden Shroud. Natalie Waite. Anaya Coons. Aliana Scott. Kayana Oli. Signa Bregaman. Bronson Cretendon. Angelina Lachey Morton. Angelia. Santiago Recoba Dombaule Hina. Two more. Isaiah Ramos. Last one. Brianna Yankee.
Tess Elizabeth Armstrong. Alexander Bergman. Jackson Henry Chezik. Otis Crawford. Sophie Marie Isolt. Tate Engeseth. Elena Jade Flodine. Riley Joseph Frederick. Gabrielle Hope Gaston. Natalie Jerseth. Luke Gratz. Ingrid Harkey. Kaya Samantha Hegarty. Sawyer Hernan. Royalty Hero. Logan Jennings. Ava Margaret Johnson. Jamello Moorhead. Colin Murray. Logan Allen Ort. Skylar Penny. Ethan Piontek. Hayden James Regstead. Paige Jacqueline Sherrill. Peter Zachary Schnell. Drew Sheldon. Elise Rose Snordham. Josephine Louise Starrin. Tyler Sussick. Riley Trost. Jose Valise Jr. Justine Wagner. Riley Susan Weinstock. Gavin Weigel. Abby Neeson. Rylan Olivia Oberg. Addison Ren Otto. Brianna Petneo. TJ Petkovich. Abigail Grace Prusakevich. Ava Evelyn Rowe. Alexis Ashley Schmidt. Heidi Sophia Schwartfager. Abby. Austin Sommerfeld. Alexander Jacob Stern. Michael Sudor. Troy Tao. Cody Trublick. Andrew Robert Farovin. Erica Elizabeth Wall. Brooks Brian Wilson. Thank you. Lucas Evans. Anthony Glenn. Easton Michael Loveland. Joaquin Kelly. Rowan James McDonough. Courtney Grace Miller. Alicia Ponce Ocado. Parker Regala.
What's going on, boss? Congratulations. You've done well.
Danny Salazar.
Danny, well done. Thank you. Tucker William Schmidt. Olivia Rose Smith. Eli Strangfeld.
Eli, what's going on? Congratulations. There we go.
Dylan Vang.
Dylan Bang, congratulations. Nicely done.
Carson Wallace.
What the heck? Congratulations.
Alex Ward.
I don't know where mine end. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations.
Cole Wetland.
Here we go. Here we go. Congratulations.
Talon Wood.
Here we go, Woods.
Give it to me
Congrats,
right away so I
brother.
can see it.
Nicely done.
This is my last one. Andrew Herfel. Jacob Hoyer. Curtis Trevor Humphrey. Jaden Angelina Kalupa. Cassidy Evelyn Kern. Stacy Kipkoske. Hunter Kubasik. Jake Larkosh. Delani Lear. Oh, we got that, Delani. We got that. Michaela Loy. Keegan Martindale. Hannah Marie Matthews. Sophia Melchiori. Ariana Meza. Carter Morrison. Maya Jane Murdoch. Della Petsky.
Damian Hendricks. Catherine Scarlett Horner. Dominic Michael Jacquard. Braden Casti. Jesleen Cower. Owen Kramer. Jacob Kenzie. Delaney Lang. Violet Ann Lawrence. Mackenzie Elizabeth Loeb. Jamie McDonald. Margaret Martin. Colton Christopher Matson. Max Mitchell. Eliana Faith Mueller. Braden Nels. Hallie Nelson. Braden Sandow. Max Aker. Oliver Emmett Anderson. Catherine Victoria Bumgart. Samaya May Bolton. Taylor Lindy Boussier. Gavin Thomas Chavez. Colton Isaac. No, never mind, my bad. Chase Isaac Cotton. Wrong move. That's embarrassing. Caitlin Ray Dunlap. Morgan Endress. Alexander Ryan Gardner. Samantha Ray Gosted. Cashin Scott Gobrecht. Megan Faye Hacker. Aiden Kenna Harsh. Kyle Herr. Mitchell Isaac Toombs. Eric Charles Vienchosh. Eleanor Ingrid Trinan. Chloe Holiday. Zachary Jackson. Samantha Jane Kurska. Kobe Kleinert. Grace Ella Kuiper. Aaliyah Cassidy Lara. Yona Lazami. Brady Sangrang Losher. Tyler John Malley. Michael Martinelli. Nathan Thomas McFall. Sienna Midich. Andrew Murray. Rylan Nels. Tyson Ohm. Landon Peterson. Brett Pulvermacher. Mitchell Anderson. Quinn Olick. Benjamin Bodden. Justin Bush. Devin James Chapman. Leah Costello. Alexander Elliott. I don't know. Ian Freeze. Isabella Marie Gaona. Riley Elizabeth Gosted. Tucker Schwen Grundle. Abigail Leanne Harris. Max William Hine. Joss Jolie Hoffman. Elizabeth Rose Kurska. Nicholas Lefevre. Grant Fu Yang. Martina Rose Zolkowski. Bradley Altenberger Cooper. Zachary Ryan Anderson. Aiden Patrick Bengry. Jalen Durrell Carter. Logan Kudre. Carson Ettinger. Eli Engel. Olivia Reese Frame. Andromeda Elizabeth Godat. Spencer Hatch. Cora Haney. Audrey Elizabeth Jones Kaito. Olivia Melissa May Hart Carls.
Now, as we near the end of our ceremony, I want to give some brief instructions. We ask that our guests remain in your seats until the graduates have left the gym. Graduates will go to the South Gym first, and then we'll be able to meet up with family and friends in either the Central or North Commons, the PAC lobby, or outside in the Circle Drive. And now the moment we've been waiting for. Graduates, please stand up. And at this time, you can move your tassel from the right side to the left side to signify that you are DeForest Area High School alumni. Parents, guardians, family, and friends, please give a round of applause for the graduating class of 2024. jumping in.